Hi, welcome back. So today I'm doing something different. I'm doing a 90-day challenge effective the 1st of August to the 1st of November. So I'm asking you to tune in every day as I'll be posting for the next 90 days to support my growth. I would appreciate you. This channel is for you if you are a mom. This channel is for you if you know a mom. This channel is for you if you want to be a mom in future. I'm sharing all the knowledge about motherhood. I'm a second-time mom. I know before I became a mother, I used to see moms all the time around, but I never really understood them. I never really saw them because for you to actually see someone, you have to relate with them. And I never really related with moms. And now that I'm a mother, I get why motherhood is lonely. Because when you become a mother, your social life changes, mostly lack support, and then there's shift in priorities. So if you were a person who's used to be by yourself, now you suddenly are taking care of someone and someone who's dependent on you full time. There's never a time where you are off duty. That on its own can drain you. And then when you are lacking support, like when you have either your partner supporting you or you are grooming these kids without a village, it can be more challenging because in the past, motherhood used to be a village. Like people used to groom kids with village, and nowadays you find that there's either only you and your partner or you are a single parent, and that makes it even more challenging because when you need time to relieve yourself so that you can refill your cup, it becomes hard because there's no one stepping in to look after your kids. Or you are parenting through traumas, as some of us are, and you don't trust people to look after your kids because you've seen how people are with kids when their parents aren't around or when their parents aren't watching. So it makes everything else isolating, it makes everything else lonely. You are struggling by yourself. When you have the community, oftentimes they don't understand you because they don't know what you're going through. And when you have, or sometimes when you have friends who are you're not parent, they see you, they can show up for you, but sometimes they don't often get you because what you are experiencing, if they haven't experienced, they can't relate. So it's very important that mother, you support yourself with people who have been through motherhood. And if you are a friend who has a mother, try to understand them and understand that regardless of how much you mean and with the good intentions that you might have, you might not always understand them because they are going through a whole lot of things that you haven't experienced. And they say through experience you gain wisdom, and without that wisdom sometimes it's hard for people who aren't mothers to understand what mothers are actually going through. So this makes motherhood very lonely. The other thing is emotional fatigue. You are constantly on the run. Even when you're sleepy, you're constantly listening to sounds if your child is okay. Like you are constantly listening around. Even if you're in the bathroom, you are constantly worrying about the child. So there isn't off the clock. It makes it so hard because even if when you are with people you're trying to connect, you are not always open. You are not always present in what you are doing. So even if you are surrounded by yourself, you get to be lonely because there are parts of you that yearning for that connection. Yet even though you are surrounded by people, you can't connect with them because your mind is constantly on an overdrive. You're constantly stimulated. You're constantly worrying about little people. The other thing that makes motherhood lonely is you don't prioritize your self-care. It becomes hard, especially when you don't have those people filling in for you to take time away from kids. It becomes hard for you to detach from being a mom, not detach necessarily, but to step away from your mom role and fill up your cup. So you are constantly piling over the mental load, over the mental clutter, over the exhaustion. Because there's one thing that I know about motherhood is regardless of how much you are resting, there's a stage where regardless of how much you are resting, you are still tired, you're still exhausted. And it's just because of that overstimulation, because of your hormones are high, because your body is always looking for cues to take care of your baby, to ensure that this little person who's depending on you for their survival are okay. So you are always on alert, and that on its own, you can't rest. Even when you are sleepy, you're not resting, you're just and listening. So that on its own makes it hard to prioritize yourself, and then makes you lonely because you are not filling, you are running dry, you are serving your family from an empty cup where you need to serve your family from an overflowing cup. The last thing is, you can be lonely in motherhood because you don't open communication. Even if when you try to communicate with your village, it makes it hard for them to understand, not because they are not listening, but because, like I said, there are certain things that moms go through, and certain things that when moms talk about, you can, if you haven't experienced them, you wouldn't fully get them. Why it's imperative for you to surround yourself with a group of other moms. You need people with shared experiences, with real life experience that can relate with you. More especially when you tend to figure out that certain things that you are going through, you are not going through by themselves. It makes the journey less lonely. It makes the season less daunting, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's all I had for you today. If you are a mom and looking for a place to connect, comment mom chat below and I'll send you a link, or check the link in my description. I have started a mom chat group where we can meet together to support one another, to share resources, to share ways where we can help improve each other's motherhood journey. I hope to see you there. Otherwise, if you're not a mom, share this with a mother, and I'll see you on the next one.